Hello, my name is Umut, and today I am going to show you how to make a basic item and a basic block in Minecraft Forge 1.6.4. Start by making a package name inside this s3g main Java file. Just make it tut mode, or you could actually make it anything that isn't a Java keyword. I'm going to make it tut mode as the abbreviation of tutorial mode. Then make our mod main class. So use the mod annotation in whichever class you are using as the main class of the mod. If you don't use this annotation, Forge will not recognize this class, so it will be pointless. And in order to make it actually matter, you need to use this annotation. This is not optional. The package and class names are optional. You can do them whatever you want as long as they aren't Java keywords. But this annotation isn't optional, because if you don't use it, it won't work. Mod ID. Let's make it tutmod. Mod name. Tutorial mod. And version 1.0. There are also even event handlers, which are used to register stuff, and to register items and blocks, use pre-init, public void pre-init, pre-initialization event. Let's create a very basic item. Public static final item. New item. The minus here, I use it because in this Minecraft version and older versions, the item IDs are just off. So to offset them, I use this. Because if you set it like this, then in-game that ID becomes this. And the way to prevent that is using this. Let's also register item. To register the item, use game registry. In newer versions, like 1.7 or 1.8, you could also use the vanilla registry. Yet, in this version, there is no such vanilla registry. There is only an array of items and blocks. So you have to use the Forge registry. Let's run the game to see whether this works. It works. Now there is an item named item null name, and it has the ID 5000, as I said. Now, since I didn't set a texture name, the game just used the missing texture, and because I didn't set an unlocalized name, it used null as the unlocalized name. hence why it's named item point null point name. To fix that, I will use these methods. Set unlocalized name, my item, set texture name, footnote, my item. No, not here. Now, in setting the texture name, you are telling the game that seed this texture inside a specific directory. I'll show where that directory is. So, system mod ID is tutmod. The assets should be named assets tutmod, like this. And for item textures, go to the directory of textures items and create a PNG file here. And for that, I'm going to use paintnet to create a simple PNG. I'll just keep it simple and this kind of thing. No, not like that. It should be like made something wrong. It should be like this. Okay, now it's okay. Let's save it in the there. No, not this. This. Let's regime main versus attacks, tutmod, textures, items, my item. Yes. Texture also works, and the unlocalized name is set item point, my item point name. To localize that name, you do this assets tutmod blank for the default language and en us blank item, my item name, my item. Okay, this was the correct way. Let's also do a base block. So the final block, new block. Oops, there's something missing, the material. The material is what affects certain properties of the block, and just for this showcase I'm going to set this to ground. And which material you actually set depends on which kind of block you are trying to create. The block textures go to Assets, Mod ID, Textures, Blocks. No, not inside this. This. Not block, blocks. It should be plural, not singular. Okay. I'll just reuse the same file. You could create another file if you want. Let's also register the block. So let's localize the block name. Now both the item and the block work, but there is a texture, a name, and IDs are set correctly. Yet they don't appear in any of these creative tabs. To make it appear in a creative tab, use set creative tab. Set creative tab. And to add your own creative tab, do this. Create a class name mod tabs or mod creative tabs. Then create a package static final creative tabs. Tabs. Tab. Tab. Mode. New creative tabs. And labels. Footnote. Important. Override the get tab icon item in order to set the icon item of this creative tab. In order to set an item, you just do this. In order to set a block as the icon item, use get item. How was that supposed to be done? Like this? No, it doesn't work. Item. I think it was something like this. I hope so. Item first. I hope this works. I don't remember how to set a block as the creative tab icon in this version. Let's have tried that. Yes, it works. I remembered it right. And now it also appears in a custom created tab. So the block sounds like stone. Yet I wanted to sound like something else, maybe like grass or like iron, etc. To do that, use set step sound block. Let's just use the gravel sound from here. There are a list of sounds that you can use, and if you don't use any of these, then the game just defaults to the stone sound. Yay, the custom sound works as well now. And not to forget, there is also the mcmod.info file. This is sort of the file about the information about your mod. The mod ID is again the mod ID. Set this to the same thing that you set in the main class. Mod ID tut mode, main tutorial mode, description tutorial mode made for YouTube, version 1.0, MC version 1.6.4, URL update URL. These are empty because there isn't one for this mod. Others, me created before making this tutorial. Logo file. Oh, look for logo file. I think it works like this. Hopefully that works. I remembered something of that sort used to set the logo file. Let's look what happens. Oh, the logo part isn't so important because I don't think that's many mods actually using like a logo file. So you don't really have to set one. And you don't even necessarily have to have a mcmod.info file at all. Your mod doesn't need one to work. This is just extra information for the user. Actually, no, it's not just extra information for the user, it's also extra information for folks like dependencies, etc. Yet if your mod doesn't have any dependencies, any extra dependencies, then mcmod.info isn't so important. That's it. See you.